So today I'm going to take you step by step on setting up a new Cash App account. So you can actually see here on screen, we're going to take you step by step through all the questions it will ask you. Now, when we load up Cash App for the first time, right over here, you can see it's going to ask you to possibly choose an account if you've already had one signed in and maybe signed out at one point. But you most likely will see right over here where it says add an account to this device. And this is going to be very similar if you've never had an account at all. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. Now, one thing to keep in mind as well, too, if you are yet to sign up for Cash App, I will have a link for you in the show notes down below. That will actually get you a nice sign up bonus using our link. And it does help us create more free content just like this. All right, so from here, you're going to be able to plug in either a phone number or an email address. It's going to give you the option for the phone number first, and then the next button will be highlighted. If you want to go ahead instead and use an email address, you're going to go ahead and click on right over here where it says use email. Either option is going to take you to the next step. So we are opting to go with an email for our example here today. So we're going to plug in our email and then click on next. If you want to switch back over to phone number, just go ahead and click on use phone. So the next step over here, it's going to send a confirmation code to the phone number or the email address, whichever option you decided to choose. So make sure you plug in those 6 digits and then the next button will be highlighted and we'll go on to the next set of questions. Now, next up here, it's going to ask for a debit card number, and you can go ahead and skip this if you would like, but keeping in mind that this is going to allow you to add money into your account if you would like to. You're just going to go ahead and plug in the 16-digit code if you want to go ahead and use your debit card. Again, we can always add this later, and we have videos here on the channel to show you how to do just that. So for our example here today, we're just going to go ahead and click on skip. Now from here, it's going to ask for your legal name. So make sure you plug in your first and last name. And this is going to be based off of what your government ID is. Now, sometimes they will ask for your driver's license or ID. So again, make sure you are putting in the proper information. From here, we're going to click on next. So from right over here, it's going to ask for your date of birth, keeping in mind that incorrect data over here will impact access to most Cash App features. So we do want to make sure we're plugging in the correct information. It's going to ask for the month, the date, and the year. And then we're going to go ahead and click on next. Now from here, it's going to ask you for your social security number. It's actually only going to need the last 4. This is pretty much standard with any kind of financial app or brokerage account that you are opening up nowadays. So this is going to be required for us to be able to move on to the next step. So again, we're just going to plug in the last 4 and then click on next. Now from right over here, it's going to ask for your current address. So go ahead and just plug that in and then click on next. So now comes the fun part. This is where we get to choose our cash tag name. This is essentially a username that you can give to other people. If you don't want to give out a phone number or a email address, you're going to be able to give out this cash tag. Now, obviously there are cash tags that are already used up, so they will let you know if it isn't available to choose something different. So we're going to go ahead and plug in our cash tag, and then the next button will be highlighted if it's available for us to use. Now, one other thing to keep in mind when it comes to a cash tag, you can change this later. We actually have videos here on the channel to show you how to do just that. So if you don't end up loving it, you can always change that in the future. Now it's going to ask you to go ahead and set up a cash PIN. This is going to be a 4-digit PIN, and it's going to be a backup for your Face ID in case that does not go through. So you're going to go ahead and plug this in, and then it's going to ask you for a confirmation to then go to the next set of questions. Now, next up here, it's going to ask if you'd like to order your free Cash App debit card. You can always do this later by hitting the skip button and then watching our videos down the road as well. Or you can go ahead and continue on next with this. And this will go through the process of setting up a designed debit card for you. It is going to be, again, free for you, and it will ship directly to your house. So for our example here today, we're going to go ahead and just skip on this. And then it might take you to a page that looks like this. If you have your contacts available and open, it's going to have you invite other people if they want to join Cash App. But if not, we're going to go ahead and click this little X on the top left-hand side. And just like that, we got to the home page of our Cash App account. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't signed up for Cash App and want to go ahead and jump right to it, our link will be in the show notes down below. And that link does help support us out to make more free content just like this for you. And speaking of free content, we're going to post our next video right over here so you can actually dive in deeper and learn more about utilizing the Cash App service.